Friends, welcome to SPDM TV. My name is Mike, part of the SPDM crew, and I watch a lot of TV. We talk about various TV topics, reviews, and general appreciation of TV past and new. You can follow me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Serialized at MLHilty2452 to see what all I'm watching. This week, I'm going to talk about the tragic death of Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. Lots of reports are coming out about what's going on with that whole situation. Really, it kind of just boils down to him and his wife were tragically murdered. And it's really sad, just everything that's going on with that whole situation, considering the family dynamics and everything that goes into substance abuse and mental health and such. And it's also really sad that, the Trump just decided to weigh in, make it about himself, make it about politics, which is horseshit. It's absolute horseshit that he would do anything like that. I don't want to talk about any of that stuff really. I want to talk about the legacy that this guy leaves behind, and thankfully I do get to talk about it from a TV perspective because at the end of the day, Rob Reiner got his start on television. He was an actor first in a lot of little roles here and there, but he got really his big break on the show All in the Family as Meathead. And if you've never seen All in the Family, it's it's a great show. It's really funny, and it's just one of those things that it's increasingly clear that just this was a show that was just at right place, right time, and it sucks that like not a lot of people go back and watch the show, but and Rob Reiner has had a very storied career on television in a variety of different things. Yes, I understand that he is known predominantly as somebody who works in or who has done work in movies, but in television, just going through his IMDb credits. Before All in the Family, he was in an episode of Manhunt. He was in an episode of the Batman, the Andy Griffith Show, That Girl, The Mothers-in-Law, Gomer Pyle, Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, Beverly Hillbillies, Room 222, The Partridge Family, The Odd Couple, so The Rockford Files, a lot of different things before he eventually got into All in the Family. Then even after that, he was on the Gary Shandling show. He was in Morton and Hayes. He was on the Larry Sanders show. He had a great run on New Girl, which to me, I loved his stint on New Girl. That was really great. He played himself in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He was in Frasier. He was in an episode of The Simpsons because, of course, he was in an episode of The Simpsons. Why wouldn't he be in an episode of The Simpsons? He was in an episode of 30 Rock. He did a couple Disney Channel shows as well. He was in an episode of About a Boy, and he was in an episode of a couple episodes of The Good Fight. And then also, most recently, he was also in The Bear. Can't forget about that. So Rob Reiner has had a just phenomenal career in television. This doesn't even include some of the amazing things that he's done on film as well. So if you look at his director filmography, this is Spinal Tap is going to be very high up there in terms of one of the best comedies out there. Stand by Me will I remember I watched Stand by Me in a sociology class in high school. High school sociology, all we did was watch movies. And Stand By Me was one of them. And one of the things that I loved about Stand By Me is that it's a road trip movie without roads. Like they are pretty much following this railroad track to this dead body. And all four of the kids are fantastic in it. River Phoenix was great. Corey Feldman was great. Jerry O'Connell was great, and Will Wheaton as well, very young Will Wheaton. The Princess Bride, right after that, which to me, The Princess Bride might be the perfect movie because it's got a little bit of everything for everybody. If you're looking for romance, if you're looking for action, if you're looking for comedy, if you're looking for fighting, if you're looking for, a father or a grandpa grandson relationship, this that just has everything that you can ask for with that. When Harry Met Sally, Misery, A Few Good Men, that's just a legendary run. Like a run that can't ever be replicated by anybody else. North. I don't hate North. I'm one of those people who actually didn't think North was that bad. I'm also one of those people who thinks that The American President is a severely underrated movie. Just a great movie and just a great way just to dip his toes a little bit more into politics. After that, it starts to get a little dicey because you've got Ghost of Mississippi, The Story of Us, Alex and Emma, Rumor Has It, and The Bucket List. You see a lot of like great variety in all the things that Rob Reiner does, which I gotta give him credit because that is something I know for sure. uh, I appreciate about some of the things that he's done is that he doesn't just work in a particular genre. He kind of spreads himself out. He's known for some amazing comedies, which are going to go down as some of the best comedies of all time. And then not only that, his acting, just beyond all of the different director, like the TV, beyond the TV and beyond the directing. So if you look at some of the movies that he's done where he didn't direct it, maybe had a hand in writing in it, but just some that I think are just some movies of his that I think are a little underrated. Sleepless in Seattle, I enjoyed. Bullets Over Broadway, Mixed Nuts, which a really funny Steve Martin movie. Bye Bye Love. As a child of divorce, Bye Bye Love was just one of those movies that I know we like. For me and my sister, we watched this movie a lot because it was a way just for us to like kind of cope a little bit. He was great in Primary Colors. I really liked him in Ed TV as, this producer of a reality TV show that is just ahead of its time. Like it's also inferior Truman Show, but it's still pretty high up there for me in terms of just something that's really great. Then he was, I think, for me, most notably, and just his most memorable role recently was The Wolf of Wall Street. He was Jordan's dad. So yeah, that was also really great as well. Taking a look at some of his acting or writing credits, he's done a lot of great work. He did a lot of great work with stand-up comedy specials. He did a lot of work with award shows as well as a writer. He wrote Spinal Tap 2. So a lot of great stuff that Rob Reiner has done in his career. Really sad to hear about the news that he's now gone. And this will be one of those things that I know I will remember where I was when I first heard that Rob Reiner died, even though the TMZ story that broke couldn't have been any more ridiculous because it said two people were found in Rob Reiner's residence. Oh, okay. So somebody who matches the exact age of Rob Reiner and his wife somehow are we supposed to believe it's supposed to be someone else? I don't know. But all of this to say that this is just a tragic loss for Hollywood, and just you're not going to see very many people who have a bad thing to say about Rob Reiner unless you're Trump. So I'm gutted by this loss. He plays a big part in my movie life and in my recent TV life as well, being in The Bear and just a couple of other things, but predominantly my TV show or my movie life. Uh, The Princess Bride has always been a top movie for me, and for a long time it was my favorite movie. So this guts me to no end. Rest in peace, and his legacy will continue to live on forever. So that's going to do it for this episode of SPDM TV. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our, shout out to HiFlyer Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you've got any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at hiflyercreative.com. Check out the other shows on our network, and really appreciate the work that everybody has done. And finally, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, happy watching, friends.